based on the electoral panel and the entire crew that participated in this exercise and conducted this exercise transparently. INEC officials are also here. I want to formally follow suit what the chairman of the electoral panel said in the declaration based on the vote, declaring Prince Adewole as the winner of the presidential primaries. I so declare him as the winner. Congratulations.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Tonight is a night of liberation. Tonight, a new window for social justice has been opened in Nigeria. I must thank all of you and your families and all Nigerians who have stayed awake to observe these proceedings. I must thank all the tireless workers at the Secretariat of the Social Democratic Party. They work there like ants. They don't sleep. They don't do anything. They work as if that place is bigger than the INEC headquarters. They work day and night. They travel around the country on low budgets, fatigue, no time, short deadline, and a very, very tough national chairman who wants to ensure that everything is right on time and right on the spot. And I thank you, all of you, for being here. I thank my colleagues, starting with my senior brother, Professor Femi Olufumilade, who started as the first presidential aspirant in this election cycle. And I thank him for all the work he's done. I think he has more posters in this country than even the current president of Nigeria. And he knows everywhere. He's worked very hard. But in the end, he said, I believe in your words, and I believe in your deeds, and I believe in what you believe. And he threw his support behind me. I'm grateful. I must also thank my sister, Mrs. Dorothy Sesnabilo Nuhu Akinofa. She has done a wonderful job. When she started her campaign, it was like she was campaigning in America. But after a while, the people of Nigeria started listening to her. The social groups that are most affected by the social problems of this country rallied behind her. And then after that, she started climbing up to the ladder to try to talk to the big wigs of Nigeria and the opinion holders. But in the end, we spoke, and she saw that what I'm looking at is what she's looking at. And she said, we are working for the same country. Let's work together. And she also suspended her campaign and threw her weight behind me. I'm grateful. And I'm grateful to her and all her supporters. I must also thank Dr. Daudu. He has overcome many psychological, physical, and social barriers to be the first disabled person or physically challenged person who came out and said, I want to be president. And he came to a party that is tolerant, that does not discriminate, the SDP. He ran the race, but when we met at the National Executive Committee of the party, and we all showed to the party our vision for the country, he called me aside and said, well, I want to make a record as the first disabled president in Nigeria, but listening to you and see what you're doing, I threw my weight behind you. And I salute him. Also, I must thank our brother, the most respected banker, Adebayo Peterside, because when many people did not think it was fashionable to believe in the third way and the third force movement, he declared for the Social Democratic Party. So in capitalist sense, it's as good as committing class suicide for a top banker to go with the Social Democrats. And he put his hat in the ring, But after a few discourse about the nature of this country, about the collectivity that we need to have, he said, I will not pursue. He will not pursue his ambition, but he will back the SDP and the winner of the election for president in SDP. I salute Adewole Peterside. And there are so many other people I need to thank, not the least of which is our national chairman, a very young man who gave courage to young people. It is not by accident that, as young as I am not the youngest presidential aspirant in SDP. Makama Tide, who is also now Makama Ondo, has shown that as a young man, he saw the rot in the ruling party of that time. It's not every day you see a courageous person who was rising in PDP in his heydays when they were dreaming bad dreams for us that they will rule for 60 years. But he thought to himself, these people will ruin this country for 60 years. So I need to go out and stop them. After making several attempts to stop them within the party. Then in 2018, they came to the SDP. And that was not a very favorable election year. While many ran away to share the largesse with the winners, he stayed behind to build SDP. That is why we are here today. I salute you. And I must salute the humblest political leader you can have, Dr. Adebayo'S, who made history as the youngest person to head a paramilitary organization at the age of 39. He was the Corps Marshal of the Road Safety. And for many years became Minister of Defense, Minister of Power and Steel. But he has devoted his political career at this time to working with young people. If you make a 17-year-old chairman of a committee, Dr. Adebayo'S will serve as a member, as a secretary, as a PA. He doesn't mind, as long as it is service. And in the history of political power rotation, he is the first national chairman, because of patriotism, to accept to be downgraded to national secretary without batting an eyelid. I salute him. I salute the members of the working committee all across the country, and I thank you all. But the message of today, for my wife and I, is not only to the delegates of SDP, because the delegates of SDP have done what Pontius Pilate did. They said, among those who are causing the problem of Nigeria, the SDP delegates wash their hands. The SDP delegates washed their hands. They did not go for the money bags. They did not go for the octogenarians. They did not go for those who want to be perpetual in power. They went for freshness. So if anybody is out there in Nigeria saying, is there a way for the youth? SDP has shown you the example. If there's anyone who says, is it possible for a political party to organize a free, fair, transparent, rancor-free primary that renders INEC observers idle? SDP has shown it. If anybody is in doubt that politicians in this country can still suppress their personal interest in the interest of the country and subsume their personal glory for the greatness of the country, SDP has shown it by going from 7 presidential aspirants to 1 without rancor, without insult, without any arbitration by any president or anybody. You will see those who are being in power. Even the president of Nigeria got tired of trying to get consensus or trying to find a solution. And after wasting all the money and wasting all the time, they came back to square one. APC elected square one. PDP elected a leader who came back from exile. So both of them are facing the past. They have ideas, but they have their eyes behind their head. They can only see the past. What SDP? It is the turn of the Nigerian people, of the Nigerian masses, of those who are in IDP camps, of those who are hungry every day, of those who graduated without employment, and those who are prevented from graduating because politicians have stolen their money and sent their teachers on strike. It is for the people who cannot travel 10 kilometers without saying the Lord's prayers 100 times. It is for those who have no money to feed their family but are being asked to borrow money to pay ransom. It is for those who are afraid of the air, afraid of the sea, afraid of the land, afraid of staying inside their own home, and also afraid of going to church to pray to the Lord. If you are in trouble, you go to the Lord. Even in Nigeria, going to see the Lord can cost you your life. So when you are in trouble, in a country where you cannot get peace, you cannot get feed, you cannot get sleep, you are not even allowed to pray. What else do they want us to do? We have reached the rock bottom, and the SDP has come to lift the country. So I will conclude this speech by saying 5 things. I want to tell you something that is remarkable. When you are reading the papers and you are reading the news or whatever you are doing, it will appear to you as if nothing works in Nigeria, as if our institutions don't work, as if there are no patriotic persons in public service. But SDP has shown that if you cooperate with INEC, they will be honest and they will be dutiful. If you cooperate with security agents, they will stand on their feet for 24 hours to protect people who want to elect a leader for Nigeria. I salute INEC staff who have been tireless in their work, and I salute the security agencies, all the officers who left their families to be with us. I salute the journalists who are standing on their feet and letting the world know that a new dawn has come to Nigeria. I salute everyone who is here. But let me give you our promise. Our promise is that, number one, we will give PDP and APC a big fight. We will campaign to every household, every polling unit, every ward, every local government, every state, every zone, all over the country. We will tell the people of Nigeria where their money is. Your money is in the pockets of APC and PDP. Your money is not in China. Your money is not in the central bank. Your money is in their pocket. We will come out and show to the Nigerian people that food, water, light, housing, education, medical care, they are not prayer points. They are your rights. No one is allowed to call himself president of hungry people. No one is allowed to call himself a commander-in-chief of people who are running from bandits. Nobody can call himself a senator, a governor, over people whose children are at home without education. So, what do you do about Nigeria? You do 5 things. First, you join SDP. If you miss that first step, the other step may not be possible. So the first step, you join the SDP. Yes. Second step, you register to vote. Third point, you open your mind. Fourth point, you tell others. Fifth point, you put them out. And don't be deceived, because they know one thing now. Before, they will tell you the story. When Sheikh Musa Gabam was leaving the PDP, many big men came to his house. How can you leave? You have an opportunity. We are going to be in power forever. You are taking a risk. Now they are coming to him to say, Prophet Gabam, do you have a place in your place? So now they have come to realize that the third way is the only way. Because there's bandits in APC, there's looter in PDP. So they now realize that Nigerian people are tired. So what are they doing newly? They are sending their agents to pretend to be third way. So somebody will be following them over the years. He will be governor under them, vice presidential, whatever under them, aspirant under them. 2 days to calamity will say, I'm the third way. No, don't be deceived. You are not the third way because you fail in the primaries of PDP. You are not the third way. You are not the third force because you got 0 votes in APC. You can only be the third force if you have been telling us from time, like Gabam, like Adewole, like my humble self, that there's no way in these two parties. And now that they have crashed, if you want to learn from us the wisdom of the third way, then you queue behind and we see your democratic patience. Whether you can suffer defeat like we did, you can run a tight budget where poor farmers, civil servants, ordinary people contribute money to grow a party. A political party like SDP, you cannot ambush the SDP. It is not a party that will suffer from January to December and you come and give us Christmas chicken and say we should vote for you. We will not vote for you. But let me not prolong this without thanking my wife, who has made me who I am after my grandmother and my mother. She saw me in my raw form and said, there's something good in you, but let me bring it out. Thank you very much. And I must thank our friends all over the world, especially those who came from the United Nations and the United States, Kingsley, Dr. Kai, Dele, and so many others whom I have to salute. And let me thank my sisters here, the woman leader of SDP. There are women in SDP, and they are not just to tie wrapper. They determine whether you are going to be governor or not. They review you. The day I went for my presidential screening, I have a friend in SDP that I call my guarantor. But that day, she suspended the guarantee and started pummeling me with questions. And I said, how will it be that I failed this exam because of Madam Sadatu? So, SDP women, when you meet them, you will know that these are women who are in politics for the sake of their children. And they are not going to compromise because they know what tomorrow is. So that makes me to say we should give a round of applause to Khadijat Lamidi Okuno. She has done 3 things. When I came out to run for president, some said, are you not too young? I had to show them that I'm not too young. I know what is at stake, and I know the responsibility of the office, and I've lived my life for that responsibility. But they stopped asking me that question when she came up, because I'm far older than her. And when she was making her point and she was making sense, nobody asked me any question anymore. The only question they asked me, why didn't you come up earlier? Where have you been? So she helped us with that. I salute her. Second, as the chairman of the party said, she has redeemed Nigerian women in politics, that they will dance and tie wrapper and get 0 vote. She gave me a good sweat, and she got a good result. That now will be first a vindication of SDP, that when we say we are for social justice and social democracy, we include the women. And I will not be surprised if you find Khadija Lamidi Okuno in legislative houses, in executive functions, or if she's waiting for me, when we get to the villa, we go together. Third point. So, we are now for a big country. All the big men have disappointed us. Yes, let us go for the big country. Now, the last thing she's done for us, the third thing, is that too young to vote, too young to vote. There are young people who are brilliant, that you have to practically beg them, give them form for free to even go for House of Assembly. They will not. And if you give them a form, they will say, give me transport money. If you give them transport money, they say, remind me of the day. But she's gone around the country. She's done press interview, even very hostile press, and she's maintained it. And she has very dedicated supporters. Because one of the ways I measure if a leader will go far is dedication of her followership. Even in the face of uphill task and a big onslaught, she fought to the last minute. As we were sitting down, she was getting situation report. I said, this one can be president one day. Because she was just not sitting down there like that one man who took us to World Cup and sat on his chair till we lost everything. She was there following, fighting to the end. I salute her. So in conclusion, I plead with all Nigerians to realize that SDP has made a down payment on our freedom. SDP has taken the first shot against bandits, against wastage, against underdevelopment. And that makes me to remember that 30 years ago, the Social Democratic Party came to Nigerians and said, we'll give you hope, 93. And they brought a person who had never been in government, like me, a professional accountant. I'm a lawyer, he was an accountant. A businessman like me, a thinker, a patriot, a philanthropist. And he ran against those who had been establishment, the Amish Romans of this world and all of them who had been in government forever. But Nigerians voted MKO Abiola. And 30 years after, we are still saying it's the free and fairest election in Nigerian history. This is the same SDP. If there is any legacy for which we must thank General Ibrahim Babangida, it is creating the SDP in 1989. Why? Even though we did not live to the ideal, and the frailty of human nature caught not only those who were running SDP, but also the founder himself. But the ideals survived their frailty. And we are now not trying to reinvent the wheel because we have that template to work with. Now 30 years and 3 trillion tears after that, we have come again to tell Nigerians, give back to SDP the mandate we truncated 30 years ago. When we said, make your votes as loud as your singing. If we can be given the mandate again, we said 30 years ago, farewell to poverty. That is to say, in the life of one administration, bye-bye to poverty. We will not say we were doing poverty alleviation, poverty decoration, poverty trimming, poverty presentation. No, eradicate it. Get away from poverty. And 30 years ago, we said it, poverty is worse today. But in this election cycle, with all the people here, there, and at home, we will kick poverty out of Nigeria. On top of that, the poverty we wanted to kill the country, kill our peace of mind. Because when you remove economic security, you will not have political security, because every hungry man wants to be a senator. Every broke person wants to be a governor. So you want to make an ordinary man to be able to lead a good life. So nobody will rush to politics for the benefit of it. And when you get people employed, it's only those who are enthusiastic about issues who will call into politics, not those who are looking for 2,000 naira. Because we failed to do that, we went into real insecurity. So with poverty and insecurity, there's no other way out than for you to vote SDP. But the journey is an arduous one, because this is the longest political transition program and period in the history of Nigeria. So don't get tired. Don't do convention, very successful convention, and go home and lie down. Every delegate who is here is a mini presidential candidate. Anything I can say, you should be able to say it. Talk to your people. Talk to your neighbors. Do everything you can do to get the message to Nigerians. The solution is at hand. Congratulations, Nigerians. God bless Nigeria.